It's important to put into context for me, and it helped me move forward because I felt like I was therefore achieving something. I was getting cardio activity, and I thought, this is great. I'm now achieving, I'm getting exercise, I'm focusing on myself, and forgetting what other people are doing, I'm focusing on myself. And I'm not out to achieve anything but move forward in my journey.
Mm-hmm. How important are like little wins?
Oh, little wins are huge when you've got pain. I would take a little win over a big victory any day when you've got pain. Little wins, I can't explain. Oh, little wins. Oh, little wins are everything when you've got chronic pain. Sorry, I don't even know how to explain it.
So maybe just think about, because I mean,
I don't know how to put into words.
Little wins are kind of like little daily things.
Oh,
right?
for sure. I don't even.
It's kind of like a way back into your old lifestyle.
For sure.
So yeah. So I mean, what were some of the little wins for you, like?
Walking up the street and back. It sounds silly. Going to aqua aerobics.
So how important it is for someone to focus on the little wins?
It's so important.
Can you just say it's so important to focus on the little wins? Let's sort of say it like that, and then why?
Yeah. I'm just trying to put into words why.
I mean, you don't have to theorise on it. It's just, I mean, why
yeah, I know.
You know, even I guess from your experience, like, yeah, I mean, why? You know, why are little wins important?
Oh, just to keep you in a positive mindset, to know that you are progressing.
Can you just start that sentence with little wins are important?
Okay. You know, little wins are so important. Anything from, you know, for me was walking up the street and back. They're so important because, you know that you are progressing, and to keep a positive mindset. That didn't sound like I was finishing, so
it's true.
again.
I mean, okay, so what you said was right. So, I mean, the essence of it is that like little wins just keep you in a positive mindset.
Yeah, let me say that again.
Because you got evidence of progress.
Yeah, let me say that again. Okay, sorry.
We just started with little wins.
Yeah. So little wins are so very important, on a journey with chronic pain. It shows that you've got that evidence of progress, and it keeps your mind in a positive mindset.
Great.
Okay.
So how would you go about kind of figuring out what your little wins would be, for the day or the week?
Because you feel good. You feel good about it. You know when you've had a little win, because you feel good.
Yeah. So but how would you pick your little wins? Would you look back, or would you say, okay, there's something I want to do? So is little wins kind of about thinking in the past, hang on, I just walked up and down the street, that's awesome. Or
sometimes you might plan it. Sometimes you might say, okay, I'm going to attempt this, and then I'll know when I've achieved it, it's going to be a win. Sometimes it might be an incidental thing and say, hey, I just did that. That's a little win. Yeah. So there might be planned little wins, and there might be little incidental little wins.
So as you got better and better at this, would you actually start to plan?
No. So early on, I would have to have planned little wins, and later on they became incidental little wins. So for example, about a year ago actually, I would have to, when I went for a walk, I would have to psychologically prepare myself. I would actually go for a walk up and back, like around the block and back. I would have to like psychologically say, I'm going to put my shoes on. Okay, I'm going to go for a walk. I have a little TENS machine I'll put on my hip, like a little electric, little battery operated thing. Okay, I'm going to put my TENS machine on. Okay, I'm going to go for a walk and really prepare myself. Like, I was that scared of pain. That was going to be a little win when I got back. That was a planned little win. And they were planned little wins. Later on, they became much more incidental. So certainly early on they were planned. Later on they became much more incidental. Yeah, like I'd climb up the stairs. Hey, I'll just climb the stairs. Not one by one. They were incidental. Yeah.
And are you still kind of aware of like these little wins, like?
No. They're much. I'm much more. I feel. No, I mean they're much more incidental now. Much more incidental. Like I went for a big walk the other day and thought, hey, my pain isn't limited. My walk wasn't limited by my hip. It was limited by my endurance. So that was a win. That was a big win. That was a surprise win. To have my walk not limited by my hip and my pain, limited by my endurance instead, that was very much a big win.
Okay. So you've mentioned a couple of times that you used a psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
What valuable things did you get? Like even like coping strategies.
Mm-hmm.
did you get from the psychologist?
So the psychologist, it was interesting. The psychologist taught me a number of strategies. I actually found that I didn't use a number of them, surprisingly.
What were some of the strategies you did use?
Talking to her, talking about talking to her and voicing my issues were a big thing. Becoming more assertive, trying to become more assertive was a big one as well. Probably the biggest.
Can you describe what you mean by becoming more assertive?
She taught me to become more assertive. I found particularly in my workplace, I had to become more assertive. I found there was a number of instances where I was put in situations where I had to how to explain it? I was going to be walked all over if I didn't voice my opinion, and I was early on, and it got me upset. And I'd go back to her and I'd say, this has happened, and she said, that's okay. You need to learn to speak up. And you can say, she taught me a number of ways to see someone's perspective and stop it and become, she essentially taught me to be assertive.
Okay.
And so I have become more assertive, and I'm now utilising that every day.
So how are you doing that?
So for example, I was becoming very upset with my return to work coordinator at work, and I hope this isn't going to be seen by him.
Oh, right, okay.
I hope he's not going to see this at Concord. Oh, can I just start again? There's someone at work who is, I'll just keep it that way. there was someone at work who I was finding who was upsetting me, and I was finding this person very hard to deal with, and I found that when I asserted myself correctly and used appropriate communication, also use written communication in an email as well, I would get the response that I required. And now that I'm back full-time in intensive care, I need him to communicate with my manager and, essentially perform his role. And all I need to do is pick up the phone, ring him and say, can you please do this? And the job is done. And I'm learning to ask, the appropriate jobs, the appropriate, roles of him. It's...
How do we apply this to other people though? Like, so I guess assertiveness is a fairly broad one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm interested. So when did the injury happen?
August 2015.
Okay. So this, right now, you're like Emma of June 2017. What advice would you like to give to Emma of kind of, late 2015, early 2016? Can you just like rattle off a few pieces of advice?
So I think you should be sure of yourself. Don't let anyone put you off, and don't be afraid to speak your mind. And if you feel that someone's doing you wrong, always seek advice from somebody else. Don't be afraid to seek a second opinion and get advice.
So do you mean that in the context of your treatment, or is
Sorry, yeah.
in terms of work?
In terms of, sorry, I am putting in the context of work.
Yeah, let's forget the context of work maybe,
because not everyone gets injured at work, right? You're right. Yeah.
I think, just broadly, right?
Yeah.
If we just kind of reset for a moment.
I am preoccupied with because I'm just keep forgetting that it's a work injury.
It is such a big challenge. I mean, even what you were saying then, I can relate to that.
It's so hard because it has been my world for the last 20 months. Okay.
So let's just think, okay, so let's just kind of hit the reset button and think, okay, well, you got Emma now into, you're a new person now.
Yeah.
Back in kind of late 2015, early 2016, in the context of what you know now, what advice would you give to Emma of 2015 and 16?
In terms of assertiveness?
Well, no, not assertiveness. Just reset completely.
Broadly.
Yeah, just in terms of how to deal with this. Right?
Everything.
Yeah.
This is a broad question.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't mean necessarily everything in your life, but with regards to your dealing with this injury.
Oh, that's a broad question.
Huh?
That's a broad question.
It is a broad question. So, okay, what are some of the things that you wish that you know now that you wish you knew back then that would help you through your recovery process?
I wish I had have known to disconnect from social media. I wish I had have had an ongoing purpose while I had my injury. I had a long-term, a end goal and purpose. But I think you need a purpose while you've got your injury. I think that's very important. I wish someone, is that the right context to say I wish someone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, just go with it.
Yeah.
Let's just see what comes out.
I wish someone had have told me that the pain. Hang on, how do I explain this? It would have been nice if someone had have explained to me that perhaps the pain was not going to go away, but perhaps the pain, my tolerance for the pain and my management of the pain is what would have decreased my sensitivity to the pain, because that's exactly what has happened. I still do have pain, and I think it's unreasonable to think that chronic pain will disappear altogether, because I still do have pain. It's just decreased because my sensitivity to it has decreased. So I think I wish, it would have been nice to have known that it's the sensitivity to the pain that is what decreases with good management. Yeah.
And what is that good management?
Like good coping strategies, psychological, good psychological coping strategies, stress management.
So if you could give, just in the context of that, because you just said good management will decrease your sensitivity to pain. Give me one coping strategy that you wish you'd had.
Well, I mean, what I have now.
So yeah.
I mean, what I wish I had or what I do have.
Well, yeah. So what you have now that you wish you had then. What's one coping strategy that?
Whoa. I mean, I've got my purpose back. I've got stress management. Stress management.
That's the most important?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me.
Is there anything?
Having a purpose and stress management, I think they're so big. In hindsight, like that's coming from hindsight. Yeah.
Is there anything positive to your pain?
That's a very bizarre question. It's a bizarre question. I feel like that question was on there.
Maybe.
I feel like the question was on there. It's a trick question. Look. It's not a definite no, but it makes you value what's important to you, I think. Not that I needed to know what was already important to me, but it really makes you value it really makes you put emphasis on what you value and what's important to you, which to me is my job, which is my passion and my purpose, and my bushwalking. So it makes you realise that you shouldn't take your body for granted, and I think I never have, never will. Some people do, but pain is something that I feel makes you realise that you shouldn't take your body for granted.
Okay, yeah, that's a good answer. So you did find something positive there?
Yeah, you should take something positive from everything, I feel.
So how do you take something, well, how did you learn to take something positive out of this?
I guess because I'm a positive person. And as low as my journey with this pain and chronic pain took me, I feel like there's always got to be light at the end of the tunnel with anything, and as far and as wide as you've got to find it. I think there's always got to be light at the end of the tunnel, and you've got to look for it. And if you don't find it, you've got to keep looking for it. And I think, you know, that's to me, I can still walk, I can still move all my limbs, you know, I'm lucky.
That's good. That's a good place to end it there. Okay, so do you think Emma now is a stronger person than Emma of 2015?
I think so, yes. And I think I say that because I'm much more assertive, and I know I'm much more assertive, appropriately assertive. I know my body's restrictions. I know my body's capabilities, and emotionally I'm stronger. I can tell people yes and no without hesitation. So I think going through a journey like this, it is a journey, and I think you need to embrace it. And if you don't embrace it, it's only going to be harder. You need to ride the roller coaster, and I think you can only come out stronger. Yeah, I've come out stronger, certainly. I mean, I certainly haven't come out weaker, that's for sure. Yeah, I feel like I've come out stronger in every aspect. Yeah.
Cool. So, and are you more resilient now?
What do you mean?
Well, so like if I was to give you another challenge, right? You know, like get a master's in, you know, like organic chemistry. Right?
Yeah.
You know, like would you be more resilient in terms of not giving up? And
to be honest, I feel like I'm a little bit tired. Like it has been a long journey. Like I feel like I need a bit of a rest. It's a long journey, and I would need to have a good think about it, and then definitely give it a shot. For sure, I'm wanting to pursue my own studies. So definitely wanting to give studies in nursing another shot. So
is it important for, you know, the people watching this to like have goals but like continue to kind of set goals?
Definitely having goals, and to continue to have goals to aspire to. Definitely continue to have goals to motivate you, goals to aspire to. It's the best way to keep moving forward. It's the only way to keep moving forward, I feel. You know, travel goals, study goals, financial goals, anything that you want to, you need to, anything you can do, you will do. So, yeah.
Okay. And does it help to kind of write them down, or like? I don't generally write them down. I just visualize them. Yeah, I'm not a big writer. I'm a big visualizer. Yeah. I take little snapshots and keep them in my phone. I have little visual screenshots in my phone. I like to visualize things. Yeah. Can you explain that then to us, like watching this, like? Yeah, how do you use those images to? Like,
yeah. You know? So I'm not a big writer. I don't keep a diary or anything. I generally keep little screenshots in my phone.